You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
The options market can be a confusing place. Sorting through the daily avalanche of data, alerts, updates, articles, and analysis to find the most important information is an overwhelming prospect. But now you have help. Welcome to the Options News Rundown, the only program that breaks through the noise to bring you the most important news and information from the world of options. Every day we bring you the top 5 option stories curated by the options experts at theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider. And now it's time to break through the noise. It's time for your Options News Rundown.
Good morning, traders. This is your Options News Rundown for Tuesday, June 26th. Our first story today is from CNBC. Stocks are trading slightly higher today, but mixed messages from the Trump administration regarding trade put a lid on gains. So far, the Dow Jones Industrial Average has risen 61 points, with Visa as its best performing stock in the index. The S&P 500 gained about 0.25% as tech rose 0.8%. The NASDAQ Composite advanced just under 0.5% as Netflix rose 3.4%, rebounding from steep losses yesterday. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said in a tweet yesterday that a report from the Wall Street Journal about the Trump administration planning to curb Chinese investments in U.S. tech was, quote, fake news. Mnuchin added, however, that those restrictions will apply to, quote, all countries that are trying to steal our technology. Later on Monday, Peter Navarro, a trade advisor to Trump, told CNBC that there were no plans on slapping investment restrictions on China or other countries. He also said the stock market was overreacting to such fears. However, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders doubled down on Mnuchin's statement, saying in a press briefing, as the secretary said, a statement would go out that targets all countries that are trying to steal our technology. We expect that to be out soon. Stocks fell sharply yesterday, with the Dow dropping more than 300 points, the S&P sliding 1.5%, its biggest one-day decline since April 6th. Harley-Davidson declined almost 6% on Monday after announcing it will shift production of motorcycles headed to Europe to factories outside of the U.S. Trump went after them on Tuesday, saying in a tweet, they will be taxed like never before. General Electric shares jumped more than 6% as the company revealed plans to spin off its healthcare business and sell its stake in Baker Hughes. The company also announced it will maintain its current dividend until the spin-off is complete. GE was also replaced by Walgreens Boots Alliance on the Dow. Our final story today is from Bloomberg. Saudi Arabia is planning to pump a record amount of crude in July, embarking on one of its biggest ever export surges to cool down oil prices. State Oil Company is aiming to produce production in the next month to about 10.8 million barrels a day. That would surpass a previous high of 10.72 million barrels a day in November 2016, illustrating its unprecedented response to the pressure Donald Trump has put on OPEC to supply more oil. The Saudi energy minister committed at last week's OPEC meeting to do whatever is necessary to keep the markets in balance and prioritize its customers. Saudi Arabia, the world's largest oil exporter, told OPEC it pumped 10.03 million barrels a day in May. The actual production level in July will depend on demand for exports and domestic consumption, so it could end up ranging between 10.6 million and 11 million barrels a day. Domestic oil use surges during summer months as the kingdom burns crude to generate electricity for air conditioning. Within 48 hours of the group's meeting, the U.S. Energy Secretary Rick Perry said the OPEC Plus boost may be a little short of what's required to prevent an oil price spike this summer. That's all we have for today. You'll find all of these stories and more on theoptionsinsider.com. I'll be back tomorrow with more options news you can use.
Thank you for listening to the Options News Rundown. To learn more about these stories or any other developments from the world of options, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com.